So what is vibration? It's a periodic motion of particles of an elastic body or medium in alternately opposite directions from the position of equilibrium that equilibrium has been disturbed. The anatomy of the vibration, it's detected in the skin and joints. It's essentially what picks up the vibration sensation is these proscenium corpuscles in the dorsal root ganglion of skin and joints. They detect pressure and vibration between around 20 to 1500 hertz, so broad spectrum. So we'll get into the differences between that spectrum of frequency. And again, they have a max sensitivity around this 200 to 400 frequency. Once that vibration sense is picked up, it travels from the dorsal root ganglion into the dorsal column of the ascending pathway, into the medial lemniscus of the brainstem, and then eventually into the primary somatosensory cortex, where it's interpreted by the body. So what's the function of vibration? There's two separate functions that we'll tend to focus on, and it's going to be prolonged and short. When it comes to prolonged vibration, I'll determine this as about 30 to 60 seconds or possibly longer. What happens during this time is that we get a reduced net excitation of the motor neuron pool. Why? Because muscle spindle activity decreases due to presynaptic inhibition. We get decreased group mean discharge rates, which leads to a decreased reflex magnitude and an increased reflex latency. So essentially, these signals are just starting to get picked up slower. So vibration is beneficial, but if you sort of overload the system, the body's just going to wear out over time. So we get this slight increase in motor recruitment threshold due to Golgi tendon organ activation, but with time, much like the water over here in the faucet, we fill up, but it sort of starts to come down as well. So long duration vibration can have an inhibitory effect leading to reduced muscle activity or strength, which may be beneficial post-exercise, but potentially not as beneficial pre-exercise. And it could be good if an individual has hyperactive muscles. With regards to short duration vibration, we get this excitation of the motor neuron pool. What we can do is take advantage of this to enhance force production and enhance motor unit firing rate, especially during submaximal contractions. So brief vibration can have an acute excitatory effect, which will lead to increased firing rates for improved motor unit recruitment. So here's a nice long duration stretch that I'll hold, but what I could do essentially as well is use it in just a shorter time frame to activate my quads. So now we talk about foam rolling with versus without vibration. So I'm personally a huge fan of the Viper 2.0 or the Hyperize Viper 2.0. Sorry, that says Venom, but essentially what it is the foam roller that vibrates. So it's a lot more comfortable and tolerable for the individual. And what we see in this group was we took 16 subjects and they had 3 sets for 60 seconds on this foam roller. What they did was they rolled from their Achilles tendon up to the popliteal fossa for about 15 cycles over the course of a minute. They had it on a moderate frequency, potentially a little lower, and they held for a longer duration. What they then did was they tested dorsiflexion range of motion as well as plantar flexion strength via isokinetics. And what they found was that while both groups' passive range of motion and passive torque were increased with both vibration and non-vibration foam rollers, there was an increased motor unit recruitment in the vibration foam rolling group. They also had decreased shear elastic modulus, which indicates stiffness when using the vibration foam rolling group. And actually, those that use the non-vibrating foam roller demonstrated a decreased maximum voluntary contraction during concentric action of their plantar flexors. So overall, vibration foam rolling could increase range of motion, decrease muscle stiffness, regardless of strength and performance deficits. When it comes to percussion massage and treating plantar flexion for range of motion and performance,